Thank you so much, Sachin. When I was coming in today, I was on a phone call with my mother, who grew up in Mississippi. She and my father raised us there, moved us here to Georgia in 1989 when they were both called into the United Methodist Ministry. We lived in Georgia from 89. They moved back to Mississippi in 93. I stayed and attended college at Spelman. I left for a brief sojourn to Texas and then to Connecticut. I got to Texas when they were electing George Bush, got to Connecticut when it went Republican. I got back in 99, and by 2002, the tides were changing. 2004, 2006, I joined the House in 06, and in 04, the House had gone Republican. This is a moment for me that I have dreamed about, because I realized I couldn't move again. I was born in Wisconsin, grew up in Mississippi and in Georgia, lived in Texas, lived in Connecticut, but I planted my flag and my feet here in Georgia. And I look around this room and I see people who've not only planted their feet, but planted their dreams here in Georgia. Folks who have given of their time and their talent and their treasure to invest in the communities that they serve. You see, when I go to South Georgia, I know I can't travel there without calling Bobby Fuse first. And that if I'm anywhere near Middle Georgia, Fanica Miller's name has to come out of my mouth. I know that if you go to Savannah, you've got to talk to Van Johnson about what he's doing for his city. And I know where my parents live in Stone Mountain, they are well represented by Senator Steve Hinson. When Rome, Georgia needed a voice in their city council, they got Wendy Davis. And when the Senate needed a new leader, it got Gloria Butler. We know that Sachin Varghese was our attorney over in the House when we were fighting for good maps. And I know when we need a good man who understands labor and power, you look to Ben Myers. When I served in the House, I was privileged to help elect new people. And I saw Bob Trammell come up from Troup County. When I was working to elect other folks, the Young Dems were a powerhouse, and that brought me to Rachel Pauley. We needed a new voice in Athens to make certain that justice rings out, and we've got Deborah Gonzalez. And when I was at the City of Atlanta watching new things unfold, there was Kathy Woolard. And you cannot make a decision in the Georgia General Assembly without consulting the Dean of the House, Calvin Smyre. I name each of you because each of you have claimed this state as your own. But more importantly, you claim the people as your own. But moving forward from dream to reality requires a force of nature and a leadership that is unparalleled, and that is why I'm so proud of my friend Nikema Williams, who was a state senator, is a congresswoman-elect, and serves as the chair of our party. But when we think about building a state, we've got to think about more than just who we used to be. We've got to think of who we will become, and that has always been the charge given to me by Pedro Marin, who speaks up for those who don't always get seen in our conversations, but he ensures that they are heard in our decisions. We stand not for ourselves and not for our party, but for the people of Georgia. It is on their behalf that we took up this charge to be electors. It is on their behalf that we are ensuring that the nation is led by a good man who believes in the soul of our nation and in all of its people. It is on their behalf that we come together today to cast our votes for Joseph R. Biden and Kamala Devi Harris. It is for them, the people of Georgia, that I say today we are electors, but we are also servants. Servants of a better Georgia, servants of a better future, and servants of the United States of America. But as we do so in a time of difficulty for our nation. We are in the midst of a pandemic. We are facing both public health and economic challenges. We have the promise of a vaccine and the promise of a new administration. But while we wait for that to take place, we still have to grapple with racial injustice and a reckoning on who we intend to be as a nation. We have to wonder and worry about those who find themselves just hanging on, hoping that salvation is near. But we know that we don't elect saviors in this country. We elect servants who promise to be leaders, who promised to see all of us, serve all of us. We elect men and women of courage, but men and women who will make mistakes. We are here today to cast our lot in with Joseph R. Biden and Kamala D. Harris, but I ask us also to cast our prayers. We need leaders who are willing to go into the rough places and smooth out the edges, who are willing to go into the tight corners and carve out more space. We demand in this moment leadership of moral character that is willing to admit moral fallibility. We need leaders who believe in us. This is not a moment of partisanship. This is a moment of patriotism, because we came together to do something that has been done time and again immemorial for more than 200 years. And because we are, there is a United States of America. I want to thank each of you for your service in this moment, your service that brought you to this space, and for all the people on behalf of whom you speak. But I also want to say thank you to those who are not in this space and do not see themselves as part of this moment. You too are Americans. You too deserve to be served. You too deserve to be supported. You too deserve to have spaces carved out and rough places smoothed. You too deserve a leader who sees us all. And it is on behalf of the incoming President of the United States, who has said that he may be a Democrat, but he intends to be the President of all of these United States, that I say thank you to Georgia for allowing us to speak on your behalf and to usher in the next administration. Thank you so much. Well, since you're all standing, I would like to ask if there is a motion to adjourn the 2020 meeting of the Georgia Electors. I'm going to recognize Calvin Smyrie for the motion, and the very enthusiastic waving of Gloria Butler for the second. Are there any objections? So moved. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.